Lisa's who's 9 years old. So a mongoose is a dangerous thing to certain animals. If you're a scorpion, if you're a snake, if you're a little grub on the ground, then a mongoose is exceedingly dangerous. But for a squirrel who's the same size, probably not. You know, it's obviously there's always a risk of injury when you tackle something your same size. And I can attest to the fact that squirrels have the most incredibly powerful teeth. They eat all kinds of nuts and they're able to break open the seeds and get to them. And I once had a squirrel at Chitwa, and this story is funny but equally terrifying and still haunts me to this day. But basically the one day I had guests that were coming into the lodge, and we used to take their luggage and we would take it to the rooms, and then the guests would be taken to their rooms after they had signed their indemnities and all those kinds of things. And so basically I take the luggage and I go along the pathway, and there on the pathway is this squirrel. But I feel really bad because the squirrel looks like it's got a broken back. So its back two legs are not working at all, and it's dragging itself across the path. So I think to myself, no, we can't have this. Firstly, it's not nice to see an animal in distress like that. Secondly, it's not the best welcome for guests to arrive to a maimed squirrel kind of dragging along the path. It sort of sends an ominous tone for the rest of the trip. So I was like, no, we need to move the squirrel, we need to just check it out and see what we can do, see if we can help it. So I go and I'm like, well, you know what, it's injured on its back legs, so if I pick it up gently by the tail, and then I can just take it to the office and we can see what we can do about it. So I pick it up by the tail, thinking that this little squirrel is going to not do anything because it looks tired and it hasn't moved with me walking there. But as I pick it up, this thing loses the plot and somehow does this ninja karate double twist over thing and latches onto my finger with full force, bite. And it grabs on the end of my finger, and it's painful. I'm not going to lie to you. Those little things it's sore when they bite you. So out of just sheer kind of shock of being bitten, I go like this, and as I go like this, the squirrel lets go and goes flying into the bushes. So now I'm feeling, not only am I irritated that I've been bitten, but now I feel equally completely guilty that I've now flung a squirrel into the bushes. And so I went back to try and find the little squirrel in the bushes as the guests walk past. So now the guests are walking past, and there's this crazy guy with head first into a bush, scrounging around, looking as though he's digging for something in amongst it. Very awkward to explain to them what had just happened, and they gave me that kind of side look like, I don't really believe this guy, he's a weirdo. And I don't know where the squirrel went. The squirrel disappeared. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was feigning injury, but this silly little thing ended up biting me and drawing blood. I had blood coming from my fingers. It was terrible. And then I was worried that I might have gotten rabies, because squirrels can carry rabies. Oh, it was a traumatic time for me in my life. I got judged by guests and got maimed by a squirrel. I know, hardcore guy, aren't I? Anyway, enough about silly squirrel sales.